Good evening, everybody, and welcome to cataloging stream number 2. So, last time we got a couple of games in here, just like 13, 12, as a relatively small number of games. That's which what we managed to get in here, and hopefully today we're gonna get a few more in here. Before I get too ahead of myself, I did do a couple of things today. I made some advertisements. I went to Reddit, made sure to advertise properly in there, and on the opposite end of the spectrum, I have not really been using Twitter too much this week. I'm kind of taking a quote-unquote Twitter vacation, if that's what you want to call it. Let me make sure that chat is working, because I always have to make sure that this is fine. Okay, yes, it does work. Alright, cool. I always type something silly in here. Something very obvious, something very silly, and... Right. So between the previous stream and this stream, I did, if you might recall last time, we had a wish list. We had added one item to the wish list, and that was Condemned Criminal Origins 1. Apparently I have the game on Steam already. So we didn't need to put that on the wish list. It's already there, so I took it off, and you can see now it is the one game that I have listed here on PC. I'm imagining that's probably going to happen with a couple of other games that I literally just don't remember that I have, but it's fine. We'll be a-okay. We don't have to worry about it. We're gonna be fine. All right. But besides that, I have also, as you can see here, let me make sure that you actually see it. Yes, you're actually seeing it. As you can see here, I've also updated the little avatar in Backloggery. And that right there, it looks kind of small in here, and it's going to look small anyways. But that is the first emote that we're going to have for the channel. Well, almost. It's a little, there's one more little detail on the final version. But that is the emote that we're going to have on this channel once I get affiliate. Whenever that is. It could be tonight. If I get lucky with some viewers, we could have affiliate tonight. But if not, it's fine. I'll keep streaming. It'll happen eventually. It gives me more time to make the emotes too if it doesn't happen. But that's okay. Anyways, let's see. Let's go back to the backlog. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I start listing stuff to see if anybody else shows up. And what else? Let me make sure that my thing is set to, like, all of my windows are fine. So my browser is fine. Let me close that. Just check my stream manager real quick. Yes, seems like everything is fine. The bitrate is fine. I don't seem to be dropping connection or anything. I always gotta make sure that happens, because the last time we did one of these Backloggery cataloging streams, I did drop connection. And again, thankfully I was recording, so nothing catastrophic happened. But, you know, you gotta be ready. Gotta keep checking this stuff. Today we have some Victorian era ambience. Soft rain sounds, horses, crows, and bell sounds. I don't know why, I just prefer ambience noises over music when I'm doing these kinds of streams. I'm not even sure if I really want like a custom BGM for myself, but it's fine. Anyways, we have that. So we have the browser and we have the picture album. Yes, that's fine. And the console should be below everything else. Yes, it is. Okay, that's pretty much all I'm gonna need. So let me close the console again. And yeah, okay. Been streaming for about... No, we've been recording for about 8 minutes. Streaming is gonna be like a few seconds behind that. But that's okay. We will figure it out. We got 2 viewers. Hello everybody who's currently watching. If you want to say something in chat, you are welcome to. If you just want to lurk, that is also okay. I'm not going to force anyone to speak. Just as long as you're here and having a good time, that's all that really matters to me. Okay, I think we should just go ahead and get on with it now. So, the first game that we're going to be adding, we're going to continue from the physical PS3 collection, by the way. And considering the pace at which we're going, considering how long it took me to just add games last time and how long I was discussing them, it'll probably be about the same length this time, so we'll see. Browser, no, picture album. So we have over here, the Jak and Daxter collection, which funny enough is also available on PS4, but it's not this collection. It's like PS2 ports. Yeah, like they ported the PS2 versions to PS4 instead of just making this PS3 remaster on PS4. It's kind of weird how they did that, but I mean, whatever, it works. So yeah, this is the Jak and Daxter. It has the first 3 games. There are more Jak and Daxter games besides those 3, but you know, that's the primary trilogy. That's the main trilogy. That's the one that really matters. So we're gonna go ahead and add that to the collection, and just like the other PS3 collections that we added, we're gonna list them as PS3 and PS2 respectively. So let's see. That would be the Jak. There's the interesting thing to note is that Jak and Daxter is written, the and in Jak and Daxter is like this, but the one in Ratchet and Clank is this one, which you would think they mean the same exact thing, but apparently I read one time that the difference between this and this and is that this one is just like a regular and you know, you could use it in any situation, but this and specifically refers to like a duel, or like when 2 things are supposed to be together and they are together. So like Ratchet and Clank, they're a duo, so they're right next to each other, they're always besides each other, so they use this and for it. And Jak and Daxter could also use this and, but they went for this one instead. And fair enough, that is probably a very obscure grammatical language. I don't know. It's a very obscure thing to point out. They know that about the ampersand. Well, thank you. Well, first of all, hello, welcome to the stream. Second, yeah, it's a very obscure fact about the ampersand. That's what it's called, by the way, the ampersand. But yes, basically, so when you see a duo, or when you see 2 things that are supposed to be right next to each other, you can use this, and that's technically makes it more accurate. But again, this and is also fine. Anyway, Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. So, interesting thing is that the first game has a subtitle. The next 2 games do not. They're just, can I write Precursor? I kept writing Precursor, and now I wrote Legacy. That's not okay. Apparently today is gonna be the day that I cannot type. That's gonna be the theme of today. Just watch. Okay. Anyways, let me just double check something. Is this called just the Jak and Daxter collection, or is this specifically called the Jak and Daxter collection? It's specifically called the Jak and Daxter collection in HD. Do I really want to add that in HD, or can I just leave it in collection? I'm just going to leave it in collection. I don't feel like adding that. Okay. Jak and Daxter collection. There we go. I'd like to mention that the ampersand is the only English character I still have trouble writing by hand. It is a weird symbol, but like, I guess if you look at it, it looks like the infinity symbol flipped 90 degrees and then like just made it to unwind a little bit. Like they're trying to make a pretzel with it and got lazy with the infinity symbol, and that's where the ampersand came in. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, anyway, this is PS3, but it was originally on PlayStation 2. So we want to put that in there. It is physically owned. Yeah, the pretzel. That's exactly what it looks like. Okay. No, this is not on Play. In fact, we actually played this game some years ago, and we did complete it. So we're gonna that's completed. But again, we're probably gonna play this game again on this new channel. But you know, Don't worry about the details too much. Okay, achievements. Let me see. I bet a bunch of kids call it that. You don't see it much anymore. I mean, considering kids probably call... They probably call this a hashtag. And nobody knows that that's actually a number symbol. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, let me go over here to the console and let me shut up the browser and we're gonna... Alright, I have this. Okay. Let's see, let me look for it. I'm actually not using the TV this time. I'm just using it from the what's the name of this thing? From the recording software on my computer, and it's a little bit small. First of all, it's kind of hard to see. I think that says 39 out of 39. Yeah, that says 39 out of 39. Okay, so it's kind of small, and it's also a 1 second delay, so it's fine for browsing menus. Like, I can deal with it, but I would definitely not be able to play games with a full 1 second delay. That's just not gonna happen. Anyways, my instinct was to call it a sharp because of sheet music. Yeah, it's also called a sharp on music. And you know, C sharp, that's the programming language, so there's that. Anyways, 39 out of... I'm surprised this game has that many trophies. Anyways, 39 out of 39. Let's put that on. No online info, progress note. Completed it. Like 5 times. I have played this game a lot. This specifically Jak and Daxter 1. The other 2 I've only played like twice. Mainly because they're, first of all, they're a lot longer. Second, they're a lot harder. And third, they're just not as fun. I think that the first Jak game is ever the most fun out of the trilogy. I'm not saying the other 2 are bad or not fun. They're just... Well, you'll see when we play them. Anyways. This game is excellent. I would definitely rate the first Jak and Daxter like. Would I rate a 5 out of 5 though? Like at least a 4 out of 4, but is it good enough for a 5 out of... Here, we'll put it a 4 out of 4. And then when we play it again, I'll do a double take and be like, was it really 5 out of 5 or just a 4 out of 4? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna play these games. I just know where we are, but I don't know when. Okay. So there's that one. The next game on the Jak trilogy is Jak 2. And funny enough, okay, I mentioned that only the first game had a subtitle. That's true in North America. In Europe, it's called Jak 2 Renegade. It has a full subtitle. But not in North America. And technically that's the version that's the version I have, and therefore it technically does not need that subtitle. So we're just going to leave it as Jak 2. It's still part of the Jak and Daxter collection. Original system is still going to be PlayStation 2. And, where is that? There it is. Okay. And, this game is from that weird era of PS2 games where, like, because GTA 3 was so successful, every game wanted to be a Grand Theft Auto clone. And obviously to varying degrees of success. Like, Jak 2 is a fine game, like, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game, it's just... I feel like they took a direction that they really didn't need to take. I think deep down I would have preferred just, like, a more faithful sequel to the first game. But whatever, we didn't get that. We still got a good game. It's just a very different game from what we would expect. I think I did complete it like way back in the day. But at this point my memory is kind of blurry. So I'm just going to say that I beat it. And I also know that completing it is a pain in the ass. Because the game is hard enough as is, and completing it just makes it worse. So if we attempt that, I'll put this as completed. If we attempt it, and I realize I'm never going to do it, I'm still going to tag it as completed because that means I'm done with it. Otherwise, we'll leave it as beaten for the time being. Now let me go back to the thing. Oh, I completely forgot. I completely forgot to switch to the browser window. Oh my god. That's like the equivalent of. Well, I mean, that's not quite as bad, but that's like basically like leaving the lens shield on the camera. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, Jak 2. Here it is. Same thing. Everything's there. Everything's fine. Progress note. Okay, well, first we need to go. We do need to go back over here though and check the completion rating on this. It's 91%. It's pretty much complete. I'm just missing like 2 trophies. 39 out of 41. Yeah. Okay, we'll write that. 39 out of 41. Oh, sorry, I didn't know I saw a spooky light outside. Oh, a spooky light there. Like, you know, when you're trying to go to sleep, and some dude just like drives by your like neighborhood with like the highlights on. It's like you get this blinding light at like 2-3 a.m. and it's like, why would you do that? Even with the windows closed, you can still see traces of the light, and it's just like very annoying. I wish people didn't do that, but I also can't really. I don't have a method of enforcing that. I'm not the law enforcement, and it's not like they would do anything about it anyways. All right, so beaten probably won't complete, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, that sounds about right. And this game is definitely not a 5 stars. I'm sorry. Might be a 4 stars, definitely. But you know, we'll make a double take on that. We'll probably have to make a double take on the old Jak games because it has been quite a while since I played them. So my memory, like I remember how to play them, I remember the plot, I remember that stuff, but my memory on their quality is a little bit fuzzy. Okay, we'll add that. And let's see. I seem to remember that happening a time or two in Atlanta. And on that note, are you connected to Twitch's Atlanta server? Yes? I think I'm in, or whatever server is closest to me. I am definitely using the closest server to my location. Whether it be the Atlanta one or just, you know, some kind of Georgia one. Anyways. Game number 3 is Jak 3. Now, I don't know why, but Jak 3 is actually written with this 3 and not this 3, like the second game was. Like they went from Roman numerals to just like basic numerals. I don't get what was the logic behind that, but whatever. And also, you may have noticed that they erased Daxter from the subtitles or just the general titles of the games, and it's interesting because they didn't really, like, Daxter is not less important to the plot. He's not less of a character in these other games. He is still very much there. Hello, Lady Goo. How are you doing today? Hope you enjoy your stay. Hope you have a good time on the stream. And yeah, we're just putting some games into Backloggery. It should be just like a chill stream. Anyways, yeah, Daxter was like, he's still part of the plot. He still speaks a lot, for sure. He's always been like the one that speaks all the damn time. Yeah, he still does that. They just took him out of the, I guess because the story is technically more centered around Jak, but still, Daxter is nonetheless part of the equation. Alright, that's for the one I use. If you're connected, fine, but I've been unable since Tuesday. Even the problem is definitely not on my end. Yeah, I actually had problems with YouTube this morning, not Twitch. Yeah, YouTube just wasn't loading very well for me. But we managed. Okay, I would have felt betrayed if a game titled Banjo 3 Gruntilda's Revenge was released. Yeah, like, it just doesn't, like, imagine a Ratchet game. Well, actually, yes, there is one. Ratchet Deadlock, the 4th game in the Ratchet and Clank series. They took Clank out of the title, and in that one, you know, I don't like that they did, but it makes sense because in Ratchet Deadlocked, Clank is not accompanying Ratchet all throughout. He's actually been demoted to a side character in that game, and then turn it around, there's Secret Agent Clank for the PSP, where you play as Clank instead of Ratchet, and Ratchet is like, he's part of the story, but he's not actually the one you play as, or not as important as in the other games. And there's also a game called Daxter in the Jak and Daxter trilogy, not trilogy, the series, where you play as just Daxter and Jak as the once again. I don't know why they did that so much. Like, they took the dual characters from PlayStation games and just separated them and put them in portable games or other kinds of spin-offs. Which, I mean, I get it. Like, I get how it works in the respective games, why it makes sense. But still, like, I feel like one of the charms of these games is the what's the name of it? You know, the dual dynamic. That's the good part of them. I'm hitting the road now. I'll be listening for a while. That's cool. You know, be careful while driving. I hope it doesn't get too cold up there. It's starting to get pretty cold down here. It's pretty chilly. Like, we're supposed to be waking up on like the 20s tomorrow. I'm sure any Canadians or like people that live in North United States are like, that's nothing. 20 degrees Fahrenheit, easy. But listen, down here in the south, that's like freezing temperatures. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm running out of water in my cup, but thankfully I have another bottle right here, so it's gonna be okay. Anyways, I've been talking about the games and forgot to actually do a thing about the games. PlayStation 2. I keep missing it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I can say like that. This one's also beaten. I don't. This one I'm even less sure that I completed it. Like, I know I beat it for a fact, and I know I did some completion stuff, but I didn't do all of the completion stuff, because Jak 3 takes even longer to complete than Jak 2. It might even be harder to complete than Jak 2, just because there's so much more stuff to do. Like, Jak 2 is overall a harder game, but I think Jak 3 might be harder to complete. But I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, achievements. Let's see how this one's shaping up. Okay. This should be relatively... Alright, Mike. I have to use like a bootleg PS3 controller, and this thing just disconnects very, very often. Like, just every couple of minutes, it'll just go off. Okay. Jak 3. That says 45 out of 47. Yeah, it says 45 out of 47. Yes. Yes, it does. Like, again, I'm using a very small screen for this. Okay, we'll put the browser back on. 45 out of 47. And that's gonna be... completion stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did not complete this even like when I was a kid. So we'll have to try this again. At some point. And this one was also like, I'm pretty sure the entire Jak trilogy is like a 4 out of 5 stars for me. Again, maybe the first one could go up to 5 stars if I revisit it and end up really, really liking it. But we'll see. I don't know. We do gain new perspectives on games and life as we continue living. But we don't have to get that deep. Yo, Gono, how you doing? Hope you enjoy the stream. We're just adding some games here. We've only added... Well, we're about to add the third game here, Jak 3. So we're just adding the Jak and Daxter collection. And yeah, just gonna vibe while I work on something, so won't be that active in chat. That's okay. It's okay to just lurk, to have a chill, relaxing time. These are not supposed to be like super high energy streams anyways. I just, you know, like, hey, let's type some games into the screen. And as you can see, I'm actually using the emote that we're eventually going to use for Twitch as my avatar on Backloggery. Now let's see our backlog now. So it's a little bit... Well, we haven't added any unfinished games, so that's good. Let me see how do these look like now. Yeah, so these have like the blue stuff. I don't like that this is not organized properly, because it's listed third game, then the first game, and then the second game, and that's only because of the way they're written. Because, you know, it goes from in order of like numerical and then alphabetical, and you know, by all intents and purposes, A comes before I. And the website does not register this as a 2, it registers as II. Like, I get why it's doing this, I just don't like that it's doing it, and I wish I could organize it differently. Maybe I can. But, well, we'll figure that out later. Let's go back over here, we're gonna add a game, and let's see what's the next thing in the, on the list. It is a Mirror's Edge. So I have this on PS3, but I want to get it on PC, because on PC it runs at 60. Also, it's a first-person game. I mean, technically it's... Well, yes, you could say that Mirror's Edge is a first-person shooter, because you can do some shooting in first person. But shooting is not the focus of Mirror's Edge. It's pretty much a platformer in first person. So like, really, it's Jumping Flash is a better comparison to Mirror's Edge than like Call of Duty or something. But we're not gonna get into that discussion here. Mirror's Edge. Okay. There's only 2 games in this franchise, but I wish there were more, because it's a very cool concept, and this came out back in that time when what's their name? When EA was kind of trying to be unique. This is like back when EA released this game, and like Brutal Legend, and Dead Space, and something else. There was something else that they did that was kind of cool at that time, but these are long gone days. It's a first-person shooter. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If I will put this right here, first-person shooter. There we go. We got a description for it. Okay, now this is not part of a collection, and the original system is PS3 here, so we're just gonna leave that exactly like that. And this one, okay, well, here's the thing. Completing Mirror's Edge, especially on console, because you know you don't get the extra controls and maneuverability of PC. Completing this game is very, very difficult. I'm probably never going to do it because of the time trials. Like, I completed... The most difficult thing that I completed in this game was probably the speed runs. So each chapter, you know, you beat it once normally, and then you can go back and do a speed run of it. And these speed runs are hard. They are for like actual speed runners, because the amount of like what's the name, optimization that you have to apply in order to reach the correct paths in this game in each level is insane. Like, holy crap, you have to be so good in order to complete those speedruns. And I did it. I did it on PS3 from chapters 1 to 9. I remember hating myself when I finally did it, because I was so frustrated, but I did it. But then on top of that, there's also like time trials, where like they'll put you in a certain part of a level, any one of the levels, and you have to follow a certain set of like goals, and you have to, again, it's the amount of skill that they require of you is very, very strict, very difficult. Not for me. No sir, I'll pass, thank you, we don't need that anymore. I think ME would feel great. Mirror's Edge would be on a PS5 controller. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if Mirror's Edge 1 is available on PlayStation. Well, let's see. Hold on. PlayStation Now games PS3. Well, it's not gonna give me that list exactly, but you know, we'll see what happens. PS Now games. First one. See all the games. M4 Mirror's Edge. Yes. So the first Mirror's Edge is in fact available on PlayStation Now, so you could play it on PS5. Now I do have to point out that PlayStation Now, again, it streams games. It uses a Wi-Fi connection. It uses your internet to play these games. It doesn't actually install them into your system, which, from what I've heard, I mean, I saw just one video today, so you know, it's not. I haven't done deep research on this, but still, from what I've heard, from what I see, it's not ideal to play games. Like, if you have the option of playing them differently from this, you know, from streaming them, like if you actually have a PS3, and you don't, you want to just get the games physically or digitally, that's better, because you know the Wi-Fi connection and all that's just going to be annoying. But technically, yes, by all intents and purposes, you can in fact play Mirror's Edge by streaming it. And I need to point out, it's only PlayStation 3 games from PlayStation Now that can only be streamed. PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 games can be downloaded, for the most part. I think there might be like a couple of exceptions, but yes, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2 games can be downloaded. And I think you can actually get PlayStation Now on PC. Maybe. Yeah, PS Now on PC. Hold on, there's an option right here. So games like this, here's the man of games closing. The only way to play PlayStation exclusive titles on Windows PC. Yeah, so right, you can actually get this on PC, but in here you can only yeah, so you can stream the entire PS Now game collection, but you can only stream these games. You cannot, or at least I'm pretty confident that you cannot download them onto your PC. It'd be really cool if you could, but I can also see pirates taking that opportunity. So, like, you know, Sony will try to do anything and everything to get in the way of pirates. Well, but maybe not quite as bad as Nintendo, but still pretty bad. Anyways, I mean, in theory, with the fancy shoulder buttons, so Stadia isn't even unique anymore. No, Stadia hasn't. I don't think Stadia was unique when it came out. Yeah, because PlayStation Now has been out for like a couple of years. Stadia is only like maybe a year and a half old, something like that. Anyways, I do need to point out though that PlayStation Now has Mirror's Edge, but not Mirror's Edge Catalyst. That's the sequel on, well, prequel that came out on PS4 and Xbox One and PC. That one I also have, and that one I also have on PS4. But once again, I also want to get it on PC because I feel like just first-person shooters work better on PC. And that can't happen with Resistance or Killzone, you know, other PlayStation games. Like, let me see if Killzone is here. Yeah, the entire Killzone series. Well, except for the PS Vita games, I think. Games or game? I think there's only one PS Vita game. But anyways, the entire Killzone series that's not portable is here. And let me check Resistance. Resident Evil, Resistance 3. Only Resistance. Okay, so the entire like mainline Killzone franchise is available on PlayStation Now, but only Resistance 3 is available on PlayStation Now. That's weird. But anyways, so Resistance and Killzone are both first-person shooter franchises that are PlayStation exclusives. So those are kind of games that you could only play on PlayStation. And I wish... Actually, now that I think about it, Horizon Zero Dawn is on PC. And that game is made by Gorilla, which is the same developer. Okay, hold on, I need water. Hey! Jeez! Hold on. Hey! Anyways, yeah, Gorilla something. The developers of Killzone. Yeah, they could probably port the games to PC if they really wanted to, because they've already done it with Horizon. I expect Horizon 2 to come out on PC as well eventually, just like the first game. But I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who really knows at this point? I mean, it's not like Sony is against putting their games on PC. They've done a couple of them. It's just they still want to sell the consoles and stuff. So like I can see why they don't want to do it. Whatever. Anyways, I'm just gonna write this as beaten. And trophies. Let's see what we got in the way of trophies. Where's my... There it is. Okay. Mirror's Edge is gonna be further down. There it is. Okay. Now this... Okay, I need to point out, this says 40 out of 51. But that is also including the DLC trophies, which don't actually count towards the platinum. So let's see if we can actually count that. So it's 51 total. Well, let's see. Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of these bottom ones down here are DLC trophies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 51 minus 6. That's 45. So really, if we're not counting DLC, that is 40 out of 45 trophies, which is a little bit better. And yeah, I'm just gonna count it like that. I'm not gonna count it DLC because it's too much effort. Just past the theater trying to promote a Save Your Cinema hashtag. How pitiful. I'm sorry about them. Like, I do feel bad about cinemas, theaters and stuff, but at the same time, like, I understand. Like, yeah, movie nights are fun. Movie nights are great. I get it. But it is more important to be safe than to watch a movie. If you can avoid going out, well, avoid going out. I say that, and yet earlier today I went to a Mexican restaurant. Funny story, like actually I went there, and you know, despite how much I like Mexican food, I'm not very good with spicy. I can't really. I can do a little bit of spicy. I can do like salsa for chips. Yeah, that I can handle. I can do like bits of jalapenos on my food. I can handle that. But you start getting above that, and that goes beyond my threshold. So it was my mom and we went there, and there's this plate that we really like called a molcajete, and it's very good. But the problem is that molcajetes are usually very spicy because of the sauce that they use for it. Basically, it's like a mortar. It is a mortar, and they put like steak, they put chicken, they put a bunch of stuff in there, and then they put the sauce, and they make the sauce like really, really hot, and that's what cooks all the food inside of it. But the sauce is usually very spicy. Now, this particular place normally would substitute the regular like super spicy sauce with a burrito sauce. And burrito sauce is basically just tomato sauce with some extra added stuff to make it a little bit better. And that was great. Molcajete was that, not spicy and very tasty. But they don't do that anymore. And I'm not entirely sure why they don't do it anymore, but the point is that they don't do it. And in a desperate attempt to try to still like capture that essence, we asked them if they could make it with like chip salsa instead of the regular sauce. And there must have been some kind of miscommunication back there, because they brought us just like a regular molcajete with the regular sauce. And that was very spicy. That's spicy. Listen, that sauce. That sauce's favorite football team just lost for the 5th night in a row. That sauce was mad. It was angry. And I still like... What we should have done is you should have just like... Once we realized that the sauce was very spicy, we should have been like, yo, please fix it. And we did do that after the fact. But... I just said, like, you know what, whatever, mistakes were made, it's okay, I can live without it, I can live with it, we still like this restaurant, so I still continued eating this stuff. And it was very spicy. I could barely tolerate it, put the browser back on, I could barely tolerate this stuff. So my throat was burning for a while, and my tongue was burning for a while as well, but... Thankfully, I'm fine now. I had plenty of soda. I had some of those mints that they give you at Mexican restaurants to like cool down the spicy. That helped, and yeah, so we're fine now. And they did replace it with the with the chip salsa. And yes, it was less spicy, but it just doesn't taste the same. Like chip salsa is for chips. It's not a very versatile salsa. It is only for chips, and we'll find out the hard way today, let me tell you. Anyways, isn't Mexican restaurants food like 50% jalapenos? How did you... Again, jalapenos, I can handle jalapenos. But actually, no, not every Mexican restaurant is spicy. Like, you can ask for non-spicy. It's just that the molcajete specifically is made to be spicy, so to make it not spicy is complicated. And the option that we previously had is no longer available, so we went for another option, and that option didn't really help. But hey, no, you can go to a Mexican restaurant and ask for like carne asada without jalapenos, or like a milanesa de pollo without jalapenos, or you can even ask for like burritos and quesadillas and like the basic stuff without jalapenos or any kind of spicy, and they'll do it. I mean, you hope that they'll do it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just so convinced that you really, really want that spicy that they'll still do it anyways, even if you ask them to not do it. Or maybe it's a dish that has that like needs the spicy in order to have the flavor. Like the sauce is the key ingredient, and the sauce has to be spicy for whatever reason. Look, I don't know the ins and outs of Mexican cuisine. I love it, but I just wish it wasn't always spicy. Milanesa is delicious, man. Like, holy... next time I'm gonna have milanesa. Like, today we had molcajete. Next time I'm gonna have a milanesa. That's exactly what I'm gonna have. Anyways, what we're talking about? The Mirror's Edge. Yeah, Mirror's Edge. That's like a... I tell you what. On PS3, because of the slower frame rate and the more awkward controls, I'm gonna give it like a 3. Maybe on PC this will actually go up to like a 4. But we'll test that theory eventually. I'm pretty sure the game is on Steam. Mirror's Edge 1 is on Steam. I don't know if Mirror's Edge Catalyst is on Steam. I think Catalyst might actually be only on EA Origins. Maybe. Well, let's check. Hold on. That's what we have Google for. Mirror's... Well, not Jameer. Mirror's Edge Steam. Oh, both of them are on Steam. Great. Makes things... Oh, EA Play is now part of Steam. That's why that's happening. Okay. Chicken or beef? Which side you fall into the Milanesa debate? I don't think I've really had a whole lot of beef Milanesa. Maybe like once? Probably. I usually just have chicken, because I usually prefer chicken anyways. And I've had pork Milanesa. like chuleta de cerdo. I've had plenty of chuleta de cerdo. But I haven't had a lot of like breaded steak. It sounds like something I've had at least once, but I just can't remember when I had it exactly. Anyways, so Mirror's Edge and Mirror's Edge Catalyst, they're both $19.99. And if you buy the bundle, it comes out a little cheaper. Huh, I don't have to look into that, but not at full price. I like these games. Well, Mirror's Edge 1, I haven't actually played Catalyst. But I'll have to give this a look better later. Anyways, let's go back to this. So yes, first person shooter. We'll go ahead and add that. Mirror's Edge is now in the collection. This is the currently not popular there. In Argentina, you usually have a 50-50 on both. Yeah, I've very rarely seen milanesa, like beef milanesas being an option. Very rarely. Like, definitely not in Mexico. Yeah, Mexican restaurants, you don't really see that too much. Or maybe I just haven't been looking for it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to. Okay, I know the restaurant that we went to, that we usually go to anyways, doesn't have it. But the next time I'm gonna like a different Mexican restaurant, I'm gonna have to see if they have milanesa carne. I'll be like, yo, can I have some milanesa carne? And they'll go look at me like, what? Sir, that's not on the menu. Okay. Anyways, what's the other game that we had in here? Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. So I have the PS3 version, but I know there is a remaster of this game on everything. On Switch, on PS4, on Xbox One, and on Steam. Pretty sure it's on Steam. Let me double check that it's on Steam. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. No, I didn't mean PS3, just... Why does it keep... What? Hold on, look at this. So when I go down to Wrath of the White Witch, it just automatically puts PS3 on it. Alright, fine, we'll just put Ni no Kuni. And, I'm gonna go to the first game, whatever that is. I don't know why we're on the Wikipedia specifically, but whatever, we're on the Wikipedia. Okay, let's not go to the Wikipedia. Whatever, it's on Steam. That's all I need to know. Any game that I can get on Steam or on PC, again, will just be easier to record than anything on console. If it's on console, that's fine. We can still handle it. We can still find a solution for it, but it's just easier to record stuff on PC. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Oh, I didn't realize you played that already. Sadly, I don't have any plans to return to that game yet. I haven't played it. I have it. I just haven't played it, though. And again, the Steam version and probably the PS4 and Xbox One versions as well run at 60 frames per second. I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, I know for a fact that Steam can run that game at 60 frames per second. And I would hope that the other next gen versions, besides the Switch version, run the game at 60. But I haven't double checked. Also, I found out the other day that Resident Evil Remake and probably Resident Evil 0 as well, on Steam, on PC, they run at 60. And I was surprised because on PS4 they run at 30 frames per second. And here's the thing, that's a game from 2002. Like, yes, it's a remaster, I get it, but that's a game from 2002. It originally came out on the GameCube. So if the PS4 wasn't running it at 60 frames per second, I just assumed the game was locked to 30 frames per second and you would have to apply mods or something to make it run at 60. But no, it just runs at 60 on PC, and I'm like, what the But are you suggesting, sir, that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, I'm assuming the Xbox One here, that the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 cannot run this 2002 game at 60 frames per second? This game that uses pre-rendered backgrounds, these are pictures. These aren't actually fully 3D rendered these are pictures. And you're suggesting that these 8th generation consoles can't run that at 60? So off of that, I also got myself the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and the Spyro Reignited Trilogy on Steam. I already had the Insane Trilogy on PS4, but I got it on Steam because it runs at 60. On PC, it actually runs at 60. And Spyro does as well, so like, I'm just gonna get it on PC now. Fuck that. Anyways, so Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White. Can I write? Wrath of the White Witch. So again, for now we're gonna put it on PS3, but I'm probably going to get it on Steam later down the line. Probably. Let me get some water too while I'm here. Okay. Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of Kuni. Wrath of the Lich King. That's exactly what that is. Okay. I played like the first couple of minutes to make sure that my copy worked, and that's all I did, so that's technically unplayed. But looks fun. I'm not gonna add the achievements there either because, you know, I haven't even started it, so yeah, barely. There we go, that's probably gonna write for that. Barely even started it. Do want to though. It looks like a very fun, charming game. And the second game does as well. I know the second game hasn't been quite as highly rated as the first game, but like it's still highly acclaimed. It's still critically acclaimed. That's what I mean to say. It just, I guess it didn't make quite as much of an impact as the first game, which, I mean, it's fine. I know they changed the combat system in the second game. The second game is a lot more action-oriented than the first game. So I'm not gonna give it a score. I'm gonna add that, and now our backloggery is looking something like this. So still, like the unplayed and unfinished thing is creeping up. And you're going to see, like, by the time we're done, it's going to be pretty much, mostly this. For now, I have a badge that says, consider yourself a hero. Majority of games are beaten. For now. But once we keep adding games, this is just going to become like a distant, hopeful dream. Not a reality. Okay. Are there any games you've played that would be improved without an achievement system? Any game that has an achievement system. I mean, okay, obviously achievements are optional. That's the most important thing to keep in mind. Like, they are entirely optional. They are just for bragging rights. You don't get anything from PlayStation and Steam. You don't get anything, and on Xbox, you can like, when you get achievements, you get like Xbox points, and you can use that to like buy clothes for your Xbox avatar, which they basically look like Mii's, just a little bit better. Yeah, nobody ever talks about that. Yeah, Xbox has Mii's, or well, like pretty much equivalent to Mii's, and they look better. They're just not used as prominently as the Mii's. Anyways, yeah, so you can get like Xbox points and customize your avatar with those. But even then, you know, that's still entirely optional. That's still just a thing. However, I also understand that the completionist spirit lies in many. Hell, it lies in me. I like completing games to a certain degree. And when an achievement list requires, first of all, multiplayer trophies. If the game has a tacked on multiplayer, if it's like mainly a single player game with a multiplayer mode added onto it just for good measure, and it's not a particularly fun multiplayer, and getting matches online is difficult, and all of that stuff, like BioShock 2 is a good example. BioShock 2 is an excellent game, but it has a multiplayer system. Nobody's playing that anymore. And in the BioShock 2 remaster, that multiplayer is not there. So in the BioShock 2 remaster, technically that has a better achievement system because it doesn't require you to go online into a mode that nobody else is playing. And then there's also those achievements that just ask you to do really dumb things that don't like are just there for the heck of it. Like I remember Brutal Legend has this one achievement that requires you to like drive over a mammoth from a ramp. So like, let me explain a little bit. In that game you have a car, and you know the world of the game is a lot more it's not like a GTA city. It's more like it's a more fantasy inspired world where there's like ramps and stuff, and you can go flying with your car and stuff. And there's like an ice area that has mammoths on it. So there's a particular spot where there's a ramp, and in front of that ramp there's a mammoth, and you can, like, if you drive the car and you go flying over the mammoth, you get a trophy for that, or an achievement. That's dumb. Why would you ever need to do that? That's just like a thing. For just to be silly. And it doesn't add anything to the experience. So if we have games that take out those kinds of achievements that require you to do things that just do not benefit the main gameplay formula, or again, multiplayer achievements are just tacked on, that would be better. So I wouldn't necessarily say that a game would be better without an achievement system. I just think some achievement systems could definitely use a little bit of an overhaul. Anyways, let me catch up with chat real quick. I've heard people make cases against achievements before, but I can't remember the argument. Like, I don't think achievements are bad per se. Again, because they're entirely optional. But there are some bad achievements. The achievement system is not bad, but there are bad achievements. That's the way that I take care of it. Maybe something about holding the player's hand too much or spoiling things ahead of time. Sometimes they do that. Yeah, like if you read ahead on like the achievements of a game, and they have gotten around that, because achievements can have like not on PS3. No, yeah, on PS3. No, yeah. No, yeah, on PS3 as well, and probably on Xbox. If an achievement is like a story spoiler, it'll just be a bunch of question marks until you unlock. In fact, maybe see if I can find an example of that real quick. But before that, game progression, chapter complete. Achievements are useful to track how many buyers actually finish the game. So those chivos are actually there for the marketing department. You see, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But let's see. Let me find a game that I've only barely started. Here, NIER. I mean, Ni no Kuni. So yeah, so you see right here. So if it's a story trophy that would have spoilers on it, like fight so and so boss or reach so and so point in the story where this happens, it says hidden trophy. And on PS3 you cannot check it. On PS4 it actually does let you, like, it hides it. But it does give you the option to see the information. It just warns you, hey, this achievement might contain spoilers, so we can show you what it says, but just be aware. If you're trying to just go in spoiler free, don't do that. Which, whatever. I guess it's fine to have that option. Okay. I would say it is fun sometimes to go on Steam and see what % of players got various shit. Yeah, there's nothing. I would say that there is not enough harm done by achievements to have a strong argument against them, and there's also not enough in favor of achievements to, like, say that every game has to have achievements. It's a nice thing to have, and like, I would like it if, for example, Nintendo had a regular achievement system, or like GOG, Good Old Games, had a regular achievement system, but they don't, and it's fine. I used to really wish for it, and then I thought about it. It's like, it's fine. Okay, I remember feeling pretty good about my Hat in Time accomplishments. Yeah, those are pretty good. Like, Mirror's Edge in particular, because some of those trophies are so hard to get. Yeah, like if you check some of these harder achievements, like let me see, like this one right here, Chapter 9 speedrun. That's like one of the rarest achievements. I'm not showing the entire PS3, but it's definitely a pretty rare achievement. And when you go, there's a website where you can check your PlayStation trophies. Again, it's just PlayStation in comparison to other players, and like this particular achievement right here is like pretty high up there. It's like one of my personal rarest achievements that I've obtained. So that's pretty cool. It feels nice to have something like that. But again, not necessary. Anyways, I just remembered Toby Fox apparently hated being required to add achievements to Undertale's console port, so he made them as stupid as possible. I have to look that up now. I mean, I won't now, because I haven't played Undertale yet, so I want to play the game myself first. And then when we experience the story, then we can look at the achievements and see just what kind of stupid stuff they wanted to make him do. Let me get some more water. That's good. Alright. Let's see. We can now move on to the next set of pictures, which would be this one. As we get NIER, PlayStation All-Stars, and the Prince of Persia trilogy. So let's start with NIER. This is an interesting one because NIER Replicant? I think that's the one that's well, okay, so basically, let me explain the NIER, the original NIER, like, kerfuffle real quick. In a nutshell, he tagged on a new room where you basically pay to unlock more achievements. That's funny. Okay, so the original NIER, not Automata, the original NIER, came out. There were two versions of that game in Japan. There was NIER Gestalt and NIER Replicant. Let me look that up real quick. NIER Replicant. Yes. So Replicant, pretty sure at least. Maybe it's the PS3. Well, yeah. Anyways, yeah. NIER Replicant and NIER Gestalt. So in Japan, the PS3 version of NIER is called NIER Replicant, and in this version of the game, the protagonist is like, what's his name? It's this guy, and he is the. I know the game. The plot of the game revolves around trying to help like a little girl, and in NIER Replicant, he is the girl's older brother. He is a young, like, JRPG-looking protagonist, the rest of the game is, I'm pretty sure, exactly the same. It's just they changed the protagonist. Well, this is the protagonist. He looks like this. He behaves like that. Blah blah blah. And then there's NIER Gestalt. That's the Xbox 360 version. Yeah. So in NIER Gestalt, the protagonist is this guy. And in this version, he is the father of the little girl. Again, otherwise, same character, behaves the same plot, goes through the same character arc. Basically, is just in the Xbox 360 version in Japan, you play as the girl's dad, and in the PS3 version, you play as the girl's big brother. In North America, and I'm pretty sure just the rest of the world, Gestalt was the only version to actually come out. And this guy, I don't remember if his name is actually like Gestalt. Probably not. But yeah, he is the protagonist across all versions, and it's just called NIER. It's not called NIER Gestalt, it's just called NIER over here. The new version, the remaster that's gonna be coming out, is a remaster of NIER Replicant. And not Gestalt. Gestalt is just being left behind as the old version that came out everywhere. And the NIER Replicant is gonna be the remaster that's gonna come out everywhere. So technically, after many years, we finally all have the both the versions of NIER, not just Japan. Just with the caveat that Gestalt is stuck in 7th generation, whereas Replicant is gonna be on new generations. But again, the only big change is the protagonist. And again, it's not even a big change, it's just like the protagonist looks different. That's really the only catch there. Yeah, Brother NIER versus Papa NIER. Love Papa NIER, he looks like shit and it's the best. Someone tells me the whole confusion exists because of some weird publisher contract. I'm not entirely sure what was the deal behind that. Marketing set to make the protagonist an old dude for the Western market. That's why. You know what? That makes sense because the West is just. I mean, despite how many JRPGs we'd have gotten before this game came out, I guess they just really wanted it to be like a big burly man. Again, this is from 2010. This is like around that time where like every game wanted to be like dark, gritty, and gray. So I guess they wanted something like this to be the protagonist and not the other guy, but like whatever. Well, according to Yoko Taro, his name isn't NIER, but protagonist. Oh, he doesn't even have a name. He's just the protagonist. That's beautiful. That's such a Yoko Taro thing to do. And he got really mad about people calling him I don't know if like NIER is this guy. Is there even anyone called NIER, or is that just the name of the franchise? It's probably just the name of the franchise. I don't think there's an actual guy called NIER. But who knows? I haven't played this game. Anyways, point is, I have NIER. So let's go ahead and add that. Apparently it's supposed to be in all caps, so we'll put it there. Yeah. It's like just before Western games got dad syndrome, in which all video game developers had kids and decided to make dads the protagonists. Yeah, The Last of Us, God of War. What else? Does the guy in Days Gone have a kid? I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but I don't know if he does. Anyways, to record a video I watched earlier this week, in the 90s it was more acceptable to have a baby as the main character than to have a woman. Not exactly the same. Point is, Western marketing is weird, was weird, will always be weird. Yeah, that's just weird. It's very strange. Nobody's called NIER in NIER. Okay, it's called NIER in some novels, but according to Yoko Taro, it's because those bastards are marketing forced. I fucking love Yoko Taro. He's such a Chad. We need more Yoko Taro. Like, just in general, whether he's making games or not, we just need more of that man. He's so good. Okay, NIER. I have it. I played like a little bit. I actually started it. I actually also have this game on Xbox 360. Like, I'm looking at my copy right now. I gotta trade it in eventually because I'm gonna get rid of my Xbox 360. Pretty much as soon as I can get an Xbox Series X or Series S, whichever one I get. I'm only going to keep, out of what I'm seeing here, I'm probably only going to keep Lost Odyssey, because the other games I either already have in other consoles or don't care for. Well, I mean, no, yeah. The only game in here that's like an Xbox exclusive is Lost Odyssey, which is supposed to be like one of the best JRPGs like ever. And I played a little bit of it. It's pretty good. But, you know, we'll see where that goes. Anyways, I started this. It's pretty cool. It is a cool game. NIER. It's just I'm glad I stopped myself so we could enjoy the remaster instead. That I'm looking forward to. Okay, I did not mean to add that, but let me go back in there and fix that. Yes, you can accidentally hit enter too early. I know we have a picture. Well, let me see if I can find that picture real quick. Hold on. You entered too soon, man. Yeah, like this guy right here. I'm just trying to get a picture. Why am I having to load a wiki? Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. There's this guy. Hit enter too soon, man. I don't want to know why there's a fat man on the. I don't want to know what this fucking said. Look, Google. It's not my fault. Google Images is so weird. All right. I didn't make it. I just use it. Okay. We're not gonna list the achievements on it. We just go. Started got stuck fishing. I distinctly remember that's the last thing I was doing in NIER, and it took me was taking me like a really long time to actually finish that. So I just went with it. Okay, so we're just gonna that does no rating. Okay, still save. Well, just save whatever regular save. And NIER for PS3. I always right click and select open image in new tab instead of left clicking. That's probably for the best. You should probably start getting in the habit of that. Okay, let's go back over here. Add a game. What was the other thing? That was PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. It's that is basically PlayStation's answer to Smash. It didn't work out. It's not a bad game. It's just it didn't work out. I can assure you of that. The problem with PlayStation All Stars is that instead of this is gonna sound weird, but they should have been a bit more shameless about ripping off Smash and just did the formula where in Smash, in order to win, you have to knock the players out of the battlefield. Like, I get it, that would have been very, very similar to Smash, but like, you were already gonna get the criticism of you're basically copying Smash. So you might as well just have gone with it. But what they decided to do instead is they did a system where you have to use special moves, special attacks to defeat the enemies, and you have to build like a special meter, and every character has like 1, 2, like a tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 special moves, and that's the only way to defeat opponents. And it's just like it doesn't work. It doesn't work as okay, it works, but it doesn't work nearly as well as if they had just done the sumo approach of knock the enemy out of the field. That's what Smash did. It works for Smash. It's always worked for Smash, and I don't know why they decided that they should try something completely different. And again, it's not a bad game, and they do some interesting things with it. Like each level, instead of just being inspired by one PlayStation franchise, or one PlayStation game, each level is a combination of two different PlayStation games, and you get some pretty wacky combinations in there. Like you get I think there's like a what is it, like a Ratchet and Clank meets God of War or something, or yeah, I think it's like Ratchet and Clank meets God of War or something like that. They're pretty crazy about it. They do some the levels on PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale are very cool. They're very fun, and the selection of characters, considering the roster, there are some questionable decisions in there. Like, they put Dante. That game has Dante, the Smash doesn't. But they put the Dante from the Devil May Cry reboot made by Ninja Theory instead of the original Dante. And this is because that game came out around the time that game came out. You know, Battle Royale came out a little bit after that reboot. So they wanted to use that model. Whatever. They have Big Daddy in there, which, okay, cool. Big Daddy, he's Bioshock. That's great. But at the same time, like, Bioshock is not really a PlayStation franchise, and I guess it's fine to have some you know, what's the name of it? Like third party representation. That's fine. It's just there are some, like, oh, here, let me go ahead and add the game, and then we'll look at the selection of characters in it. Also, let me catch up with something. Did you know that HomestarRunner.com is alive and well? It got updated and uses some kind of wizardry to simulate all of its old Flash elements. Interesting. That's cool. Oh, and did you know that an indie-centric fighting game is in development by the same dude that made Super Smash Bros. Ooh, that's nice. I know there's Rivals of Aether. I believe that is like an indie game heavily inspired by Smash that actually has indie character, like indie character, like, what's the name of cameos, like Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest is there, and somebody else, I can't remember exactly who. But that's pretty cool. Hey, like, Smash, but with indie characters. That's well, okay, hold on. It's saying that it's made by the Smash Flash developer. It's not guaranteeing that it's gonna be a Smash Bros. Like game. However, I really like the Smash formula, so the more games we get like that, the better. Again, this is what this should have been, but they decided to go with something really weird, and I'm not a fan. So I beat one of the characters' story mode. I beat like Kratos' story mode. But there's like 20 characters in this game, so I don't really want to count this as beaten. Like, yes, I beat one of the characters' story mode, but that I would consider that as unfinished, not unplayed, but like unfinished. And I'm not even gonna add the achievements for it. It's just if I only played a little bit of it, it's not really much point. Yeah, but no. Beat Kratos' story mode. What else? Okay, and we're not gonna give it a score yet. We're gonna give that the score later. The servers for this game are dead. See, if this game has multiplayer achievements, which I'm pretty sure it does because it's a fighting game, well, you can't get those anymore. And I have to wonder, is this even in the what's the name of it? Oh, while this loads, let's go back over here and see if PlayStation Now. Let's see if this game is on PlayStation Now. That would be cool if it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. PlayStation, where are you? Nope. No PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royales here. It was one of PlayStation's like biggest boasts when it was coming out, and then it came out and people didn't really like it that much, so they kind of trying to forget about it. Okay. So it's Battle Royale characters. So let's see. Okay, so there we go. So we got Big Daddy. That's the first one listed, ironically. Okay, let me check some over here real quick. Not sure who's in it yet. I only recognize the Bit Trip guy and that goon in the kettle from Bennett 40. Oh, that guy. Anyways, I'll have to say it further. Okay, so we got Big Daddy. Oh, sorry, that's Bioshock. Cole McGrath from Infamous. Yeah, so here's a weird one. So there's Cole McGrath, and then there's evil Cole McGrath. And okay, listen, for anyone who doesn't know, again, Infamous, we mentioned this last week. It has a karma system. You can unlock different powers where you want to be good or evil. So like, I can see what was the logic behind this, but I still feel like we only needed one Cole. We didn't need two Coles. I say that, and yet Smash has eco fighters. Roy and Mart were sharing the same freaking roster back all the way back in Melee. Anyways, Colonel Radek from Killzone, Dante again. This Dante, not the cool Dante, but like this Dante right here. This guy. I like that guy. Okay. Emmett Graves from like. One of the problems with this roster is that it has a lot of like military men. It's like generic military man with guns. So like Colonel Radek, I'm pretty sure that's military man with guns. Emmett Graves, military man with guns. Isaac Clarke from Dead Space, again, not a PlayStation exclusive. And what's this about an 8? Oh, his DLC. Well, whatever. Actually, that makes it even worse. Like, you have to pay for like this generic looking guy. Anyways, and the thing about Dead Space is not well known. Well, okay, the first Dead Space was a horror game. Isaac Clarke was just your eyes to the horrors, and then from the second game onwards, they decided to make him much more of like an actual character. And okay, he has some interesting guns, I'll give you that, but it's still not. He's not unique enough to be put in here. That's my problem. He's really not that special. I feel like we could have used the spot for somebody else. Crash Bandicoot is not in this game. We could have crashed here. We could have had Spyro here. But they're not. They're not. We have Fat Princess. Okay, Fat Princess is actually pretty fun in this game. And the game Fat Princess is pretty fun. It's just mindless fun. It's fine. Heihachi. Again, Tekken. Okay, I'll give you that. Tekken is not a PlayStation exclusive anymore. But I'm pretty sure it was during the PS1. And it might have even still been a PS exclusive during the... Let's check that real quick. Tekken series. Okay. So, again, I know, I'm pretty sure that the first 3 games are only on PlayStation 1. But let's see that what kind of... Yeah, Android, Arcade, Game Boy Advance, iOS, Windows... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so... Here, yeah, so... Okay, it actually was a PlayStation exclusive. You know, bearing the arcades. Up until Tekken Dark Resurrection on PSP. And then after that it went to Xbox 360 with Tekken 6. So yeah, now it is available on multiple consoles. But back then... it was still, you know, okay, well, yes, this came out, actually, when did PlayStation was, I think it came out like around 2011 or something. Well, okay, yeah, Tekken was now a multi-platform series, but still, it had its roots as a PlayStation exclusive. So I can understand this. That, from that perspective, that makes sense. Jak and Daxter, from Jak and Daxter, okay, that's fine. Cat and Dusty, Gravity, we didn't know Gravity Rush game. Gravity Rush is fun. Kratos from God of War, okay. Nariko from Heavenly Sword, that's fine. Nathan Drake, again, I understand why Nathan Drake is here, and overall, I feel like amongst all of these military men with guns, we only really needed Nathan Drake. That's fine. Like, it's fine for Drake to be here. It makes sense because Uncharted is such a blockbuster for PlayStation. But beyond him, we did not need more generic men with guns. Parappa from Parappa, okay, that's pretty cool. From Metal Gear, they actually went with Raiden instead of Snake, and they went from the Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, like the really cool Raiden, and that I'm cool with, because then we would have just had another. We would have just had another military man with guns, and I get it. It's Snake. Snake is great. Snake is awesome, but we don't need more military men with guns. That's not necessary. This is why there's no Microsoft All Stars Battle Royale. Yes, it would be such like, okay. Well, I mean, okay, fair enough. Microsoft has been buying a lot of like indie studios, and they do own Rare now. So like that would have Banjo-Kazooie in it, and like Conquer, and some of the other wacky Rare franchises. Except you can't have Star Fox in that one, or Donkey Kong. But you know, who knows? Whatever. Anyways, probably not gonna happen though. Let's see what else we got. Ratchet and Clank from Ratchet and Clank. Sackboy. Okay, that's pretty. So now you afford this game. Okay, this one was a nice addition. Like, despite how few games they've actually released for the medieval franchise, they always kind of have a soft spot for it. And like specifically Medieval 1, I think I mentioned this last time, but like anyways, they just don't care about Medieval 2 for some reason, even though that's like a cool game. Come on, man, we need Medieval 2. Anyways, Medieval 1 though. So then for the skill, he's a fun character to play in that game. Sly Cooper, Spike. Interesting choice with Spike, because they didn't go with the Spike from Ape Escape 1. They went with the Spike from Million Monkeys, which is a Japan-only Ape Escape game. He has a slightly different design in that one. He looks like younger and more... He looks a little bit more anime, I will say that. Except for the hair, but... Yeah, he looks like cuter. This is the right word. It's called this F-Zero syndrome. But yeah, he has that. And... Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. Yeah, this guy right here. Sure, I guess. I mean, Twisted Metal is not really. Again, that's another one of those, like, it's not really a well-known franchise, but like it's still there. And the latest release for this game was this 2012 game, and that's the last time we've seen Twisted Metal. Cause like, the formula with Twisted Metal is like, it's a fun arcade game. It is a fun arcadey fun. I did not need to say fun. I mean that it is fun arcadey nonsense where you just wreck cars and you drive into people and you blow up their cars and you, yeah, it's just fun. It's not really let's say it like this. It doesn't line up with the kind of company that Sony was trying to portray themselves as during this time. Sony was really starting to hammer down the idea of them being like a company that produces a lot of high quality, single player, story driven games. And Twisted Metal, it's fun, but it doesn't line up with that ideology. And I think now PlayStation is getting a little bit more lenient. They're starting to tone it down a bit. Like, they're still mostly doing those games, but they're a bit more open to fun. There was a time when Sony didn't care about fun. They cared more about like being epic and being above games and having a message and all of that stuff. And like, yeah, that's cool, that's fine, but it's games. It's fine for games to just be fun. I like it when games are just fun, and I also like it when games have like a deep story. But you know, that's okay. We're getting way off topic now. Anyways, Toro Inoue. It's this guy. It's this guy's. I don't even. This are from the Pocket Station. the Pocket Station is like the first PlayStation portable machine, and I don't even know how to describe it. I'm pretty sure it only came out in Japan, first of all. So, again, interesting idea, because this game is made by Westerners. It is made by Santa Monica Studios. They're the God of War developers. And they're over here in Super Bowl Entertainment and Blue Point. Yeah, these are all Western developers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, California. Blue Point is in Texas. And Santa Monica is in California. Los Angeles. So, yeah, interesting that a Western developer would actually go out of their way to, again, with Spike, they went with the Japanese version and then added this character that is like only available in Japan, and like pretty much no Westerners knew of this guy until this game. And Zeus from God of War. Like, okay, cool. I feel like we should have. I feel like we could easily sacrifice Zeus and any of these generic men with guns for Crash and Spyro. But hey, that's just me. Could have had Klonoa in here too. Klonoa's main games are on PlayStation and PlayStation only. Well, except, okay, they did the Wii. There is a Wii version of the first game. I'll give you that. But I still want Klonoa. Man, when's Klonoa coming back? That's what I really want to know. Okay, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. What time is it? Okay, we've been streaming for an hour and 35 minutes. I can ramble for so long. The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother? Yeah, wise words from Reggie. Reggie feels me. I miss him. Konami have been too good for this sinful earth. Yeah, his two games are too good. There's also some Game Boy Advance games. I really want to play those one day. Okay, picture album. Let's go back over here. Prince of Persia. This is another thing that I have on PlayStation that I want to get on PC. Because on PC it runs at 60, and for some reason this PS2 era games do not run at 60 on a PlayStation 3. Now, that's a little bit... Okay, I'll give you that. That's a little bit more excusable than Resident Evil not running at 60 on a PS4. But that's still not... like... that's... Like, you see what's the problem here. Like, I'm not crazy, right? I'm not a PC Master Race like maniac here. Okay. Also, what's specifically called? It's just called the Prince of Persia. I can't read that. Let me actually open the picture here. Prince of Persia trilogy. Oh, it just says trilogy twice. In English and in French. Yeah, in French. Okay, Prince of Persia trilogy. That's what it's called. Let's see. Let's go over here, and that is Prince of Persia: The Sands. Is it The Sands of Time or just Sands of Time? Prince of Persia Sands. Oh, it is The Sands of Time. Okay. We'll go ahead and make sure that is correctly spelled. The Sands of Time. This is actually the only Prince of Persia game that I've played for like longer than 20 minutes. The Sands of Time, which is pretty cool, and it's actually gonna get a remaster pretty soon. When is that coming out? Let me see. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. Well, again, because I didn't actually finish it, I just played it for like a pretty good amount of time as compared to other Prince of Persia games. But well, okay, let's watch this random ass video about the Prince. Hold on, let me shut this down real quick. Okay. I hope I don't get like a DMCA for this. Prince of Persia and the Ampersands of Time. Okay. I'm not here for the graphics comparison. I'm here to see if it actually looks like a different game or if it's just... Okay. Here's that cutscene. Well, the cutscenes are remade. I'm sorry, but this prince looks like shit. Like, this is excusable because this is PS2. This is not. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this guy. There's just something about him that looks so off to me. Like his face just ain't right. Maybe it's just this particular show. Let's keep going. Okay. Okay, well here's a CG. Again, this is just a CG trailer. It looks like an Elder Scrolls NPC. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, yeah, the CG cutscene. Okay, yeah, so the cutscenes are remade. Okay, well here he looks a little bit better because of the hair, but like there's still some about his face that just doesn't look right to me. Okay. Well, I need to see gameplay now. Okay, then we're getting into the gameplay in a minute. Well, thank you to El Analista de Bits for this video. Okay, so here's how the original looks like. Now this is alpha footage, fair enough. So it definitely looks a lot, but it looks a lot newer. So a lot more detail. Okay, yeah, that's a definite improvement. There's a lot more. Well, okay. Then again, hold on. This bridge is completely different from this bridge. I haven't played the original Sands of Time. I don't have like a deep connection to it, but like this is... Are you sure this is the same location? Because this one strikes me as like some kind of dark and gritty, like dank place, whereas this is like up in heaven. It looks all like pretty and mighty and angelic. Okay, let's keep going. But let me see if that's like a consistent theme across this remake of just making the places look prettier or like more. There's definitely there's not just a change in graphics. There's a change in tone. And I mean, that's fine. I'm not against that. It's just there's definitely a change in tone. Okay. Let's see. Now, what I'm interested here is just seeing the gameplay. Like, does it play roughly the same? Is the combat the same? Is the platforming the same? Are the levels the same? Okay, this is suggesting that yes, it is. So it is not like a Resident Evil style remake. It is a Crash Bandicoot style remake. So a graphical remake. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's why I really need to know. It is not a. They're not making a brand new game inspired by the Sands of Time. They are actually remaking the Sands of Time from the ground up with new graphics, but probably not changing too much. So, with that information, I guess I could for sure I should wait to see what happens with that remake. See if the changes made to this game, to the original, are noteworthy enough to do something like what Resident Evil did. Again, probably not. I don't expect them to be adding too much extra content. We could probably look that up, but I won't. I don't really feel like doing that. Anyways, but yeah, Sands of Time, PlayStation 3, original PlayStation 2, right here. And again, runs at 30 instead of 60. Disappointing, but whatever. That is unfinished. Again, I have played a little bit of it. It's fun. The sense of again, remake or original, it is a fun game. I just don't know the I just haven't played it all the way through, and I haven't played either of its sequels. Well, okay, technically there's more than just 2 sequels, but you know what I'm trying to say. Played a bit, it was fun, and that's what we're going to put for that. I'm going to give it a score because I haven't finished it. And right, and I did not play it from this version. I played like an original PS2 copy of the game way back in the day. And I got like to a certain point. I played for like an hour, maybe 2, and you know, just got I don't know, I'm done with it. I'll come back to it later, and I didn't. That's what happens. That's what always happens to me. I always say I'm going to come back to a game, and then I don't. If I'm not going to finish that game, I already know I'm not going to finish it. I just try to tell myself that I will. Okay, what's the other game? That's the second game. This is Warrior Within. I think that's what that says. Is that what that says? Well, anyways, Prince of Persia. Let me make sure that I'm actually spelling that right. It's not something else. Again, it's kind of hard to read. Persia, Warrior. Yeah, Warrior Within is the name of the second game. Yeah, these two, Warrior Within and the Two Thrones, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with those games. I just know they're there. Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. Okay, I'm listening to live streams at work and no one can stop me. Oh, he's there. He's doing it. Absolute mad lad we have here. Don't get in trouble though. Like if you're actually gonna get in trouble, you know, just don't be afraid to close the stream. It's fine. I don't want you to get in trouble. But if it's fine, then more power to you. Okay. PlayStation 2. Yeah, I have no comment on the Warrior Within or the Two Thrones, Two Towers. I think it's... Well, we're about to find out. This one's a fun page and unplayed. No idea. At the game, and then Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones. Okay, it's called the Two Thrones. I know these two games are more like mature. They're more violent than the Sands of Time. I mainly speak that from the rating, because the Sands of Time was originally rated T for teens, whereas those two were rated M for mature. So, not priors. Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones. It's interesting how the Prince of Persia franchise has handled itself, because I know it started as a side-scroller. I know the first Prince of Persia game is not the Sands of Time. That's just the first 3D set Prince of Persia game. Before that, it was something else. I know it was a side. I don't remember in what though. I'm gonna look that up. Hold on. Well, let's finish putting this on. PlayStation 2, and that's unplayed. No. Okay. No idea either. There we go. No rating. Let's check our backlog, see how it's looking. Yeah, see? They did this. We have officially have the highest percentage now is of unfinished or unplayed games. Like I knew this was coming. And it's just gonna keep getting worse as we keep adding games. So we definitely have to... This phase right here is gonna become more and more relevant as we keep putting stuff here. Oh man, this is terrible. Okay, Prince of Persia. Let's look this up. How many games are there in this series, and what's the... Whatever, like, what's the order? Okay, so here we go. The original was in 1989. Oh, wait, there's the Prince of Persia 3D. Oh, interesting. Well, let's see what Wikipedia has to say about it. Okay, so Prince of Persia, the original in 1989. The Shadow and the Flame. Let's see. That was on the Apple II. Oh, this is obscure. Wait a minute. Look at this. That's almost like an MS-DOS game or something. Huh. You know, this almost looks kind of fun in like a shitty game kind of way. I might have to look into this. Hold on. Yeah, this looks interesting. Look at that. I kind of want to play this now, because it just looks like a fun little silly game. Okay. Anyways, let's see. But yeah, that came out on the Apple II, so getting that to run is probably going to be a little bit complicated. The Shadow, proximity to the Shadow and the Flame. Is that also? No, that's on MS. Okay, that's at least on a couple of things, and apparently on the Xbox. Okay. Well, point is, if it's on the MS-DOS or the SNES, that's probably a lot easier to emulate. Speaking of emulation, the Xbox, the Cemu emulator, not Cemu with a C, that's the Wii U emulator, Cemu with an X. They recently released a video of like a progress report, and it's like really good. Like really good progress on the Xbox emulator, which previously was just like down in the dust. There was no progress being made on Xbox emulation. And then all of a sudden, boom. Here's like a bunch, like 50 games on the Xbox emulator running like perfectly fine. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. There's a couple of original Xbox games that I'm interested in trying. Mainly like Jet Set Radio Future. There is an original Xbox version of Fatal Frame 1, which is technically the best version of that game. And there's also an original Xbox version of Fatal Frame 2, but then there's also a Wii version, and with the Wii version there was also a Wii U version. But okay, when we get to Fatal Frame, we'll talk about that. Anyways, yeah, there's a couple of original Xbox games. Surely it can be hard to find an Apple II emulator virtual machine nowadays. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll have to look how that emulates. And I recently discovered about DOSBox. I was not aware that there was an emulator that just lets you play like older PC games, like not even like super old games, just like older games that modern PCs can't run properly. Apparently the DOSBox can take care of that. It'll run your old like, this is something that I meant to say like many streams ago, but yeah, if The Grinch, there is a PC version of The Grinch. If we ever revisit that game, it's possible. If we ever revisit that game, it's not going to be the PS1 version of the game. It's going to be either the PC version, or I'm going to try to get the Dreamcast version running. But more than likely the PC version, because that just sounds fascinating to me. And yeah, that's definitely how, if we revisit that game, that's how that's going to be. Prince of Persia 3D, what? Microsoft Windows and Dream... Speak of the devil. Jesus Christ. I'm curious, what's this game look like? Hold on. Oh, I forgot to put my Victorian era music back on. Well, that's... Oh, hello. Hey, Jared Ross has followed. Thank you for the follow, man. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you enjoy your stay. Hope everything is going fine. Anyways, let me go to Google here. Okay. Prince of Persia 3D. Right? I need to know what this is like. I need to know what this is all about. Okay, well, let me catch up with chat real quick. I discovered it back in my Planet days and started playing I Am Mean with it. In fact, I used something derivative of DOSBox to run Myst years ago. Ah, well, the more you know. Okay, make sure that is running fine. Okay, let's check out a little bit of Prince of Persia 3D gameplay. Why don't we? Is that how the game starts? Oh, there's a rat. Rats! Rats! We're the rats! We creep at night, we stalk at night. We're the rats! I love singing that. Okay. So, the prince looks kind of different. I can tell that. He would see better days in his future. But, This almost looks like Tomb Raider. Yeah, this is giving me like heavy Tomb Raider vibes. Are those tank? Yeah, those are tank controls. Oh man, that's rough. But again, it looks kind of interesting.
Greetings, young man. I see they haven't chained you up
Oh, this
yet.
guy looks...
You should enjoy
terrifying.
the use of your feet while you can.
Okay. Can't wait for the high school AU principal.
I've heard that
of
there is a
Persia.
way out of this prison cell, but I am too old to attempt escape. Perhaps an agile young man like yourself can find it.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop myself because this actually looks interesting. This whole Prince of Persia series is more interesting than I thought it would be. Just a lot of harem adventures. I'm gonna wait on that one. Sands of Time, Warrior Within, The Two Thrones, and Battles of Prince of... Turn-based tactics video game for the DS. What? And look at what they did with the off here. Battles of Prince of Persia, but they only put one off in the boxer, so it's Battles of Prince of Persia. That is simultaneously clever and really stupid. Okay, I'm getting fascinated by the Prince of Persia series here. Okay, Prince of Persia Classic. Is that the same as... Okay, is an action platform being developed by Gabriel. It is a remake of Prince of Persia. This one. Okay, so there's a remake of the first Prince of Persia, which from the box art you would think it's like some kind of weird spin-off of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time because it uses the same prince. This franchise is fascinating. Hold on a minute. Okay, there's this Prince of Persia. I played this one for a bit and I got really frustrated with it. Ironically, for something that's supposed to make you less frustrated. So in this game, or at least in the first 20 minutes that I played, whenever you fall down a cliff, like an endless cliff, the game does not like give you a game over, or it kills you, or it does damage, or even set you back to like a previous checkpoint. There's this weird system where like this guy is, the prince's partner, which is like a lady. She comes out of freaking nowhere, saves you, and just puts you like right back in the previous solid ground that you were on. And I don't know why, but that particular feature like frustrated me because the game just wouldn't let me fail. This is one of those examples that there was a lot of criticism for this era of games because they were holding your hands too much. I felt that with this game. Maybe the rest of the game is actually fine. Maybe the whole game is fine. It's just I really didn't like that, so I stopped playing the game. And I'll have to give it a second look at some point. But The Fallen King. Why are there always like DS games in franchises that are always like so weird? It is. It's a side scroller. Alright, well, whatever. Congratulations, you've turned Backloggery into an internet rabbit hole simulator. This is great. Okay, the Forgotten... This I remember. I mean, I didn't play it, but I remember like there was a little bit of fuss around this because it was like the first new Prince of Persia game in... Oh wait, only 2 years. But I think it was trying to go back to the to its roots, like to the roots of the Two Thrones and Warrior Within and Sands of Time, rather than following the formula of the reboot. And I guess it wasn't enough because look at that, there's not that many. It's not that many games after it, and there's a remake of this second game. When did that come out? An updated version for iOS and Android was released in 2010 without the 2 in the title. Oh. Well, then why aren't you listing it? Is it gone? Is it no longer there? Is that a problem? Prince of Persia Escape. This doesn't even have its own page, it's just like down here. The banner of its entity Ketchup released Prince of Persia Escape, a mobile game for Android and iOS. It was a runner. Oh, you immediately lost my attention. Okay, and then Sands of Time remake. So this franchise has seen no substantial activity since 2010. It's been 11 years since the last good or, interesting Prince of Persia game. Look at that. That's fascinating. And it was, before this, it was a thriving franchise. I mean, okay, fair enough. There's a pretty big gap here. But like after Prince of Persia 3D, yes, we waited a few years. And then, okay, I need to know what the fuck is Harem Adventures. I'm trying to skim through this. It's not really working. Okay, I'll look into it later. Still better circumstances than F-Zero. I mean, F-Zero is just a whole different can of worms of being unfortunate. But yeah, like I'm gonna have to look into the Prince of Persia franchise more because I was not aware that there was so much activity. There was a period where this franchise had so much activity. There's something to be found in here. There is something worth looking into, and I think I kind of get why the franchise fell off, because the Assassin's Creed games technically in a weird way feel like an upgrade to the Prince of Persia games, because I know the Prince of Persia games have a lot of climbing and a lot of like I don't know, like there's just a similar feel to these games that Assassin's Creed has, and Assassin's Creed is just Ubisoft's moneymaker. And yes, I failed to mention this, but the Prince of Persia franchise is made by Ubisoft, published by Ubisoft primarily. I guess there's a couple of other ones here, but it is mainly a Ubisoft franchise. And I guess they favored Assassin's Creed, but hopefully the Sands of Time does well, because I do like just from the outside looking in. The Prince of Persia franchise looks interesting. I've got homework tonight. I've got homework. Well, maybe not tonight, but like in the next couple of days, I got some homework to do. All right. Where was I? We've been streaming for 2 hours. I added even less. I somehow managed to add even less games than last time. This is so typical of me. Oh my god. I am ridiculously good at rambling. I am so proud of that. Hey, Snake Session, how you doing? Hope you I think we're actually gonna be ending the stream here pretty soon, but I appreciate you dropping by anyways. But yeah, this is just the rambling streams, and I love it. I love just talking into the void. Well, I'm not into the void. I'm talking to you guys, but still, like I'm just rambling here. I'm ranting, and I'm here for it. Okay, so our collection did grow by, let's see, again, I did subtract from the wishlist Condemned Criminal Origins because apparently I did have it on PC. I was not aware of this the last time I streamed. Now I have been made aware of this by looking at my Steam library. And we added, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait, I forgot to do something here. Let me fix this. Prince of Persia. Can I type, please? Trilogy. Okay, and we're gonna copy that. I'm gonna save that. I'll make sure I didn't like mess it up or something. No, I didn't mess it up. Okay, that's alright. I hope to catch you next time. Yeah, that's okay. We did not get the viewers that I was hoping we would get, but again, it's fine. I'm not gonna be too bothered about it. Prince of Persia 2 Thrones. Gonna put that in this compilation. Gonna save that, and then we're gonna put the Warrior Within in the same compilation, and then save all that. And we're gonna look at our PS3 games. And okay, now there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games added this time, as opposed to the last time, which I believe was 13. But hey, that's cool. Again, a couple of these, actually a lot of these, I'm definitely gonna get on PC. Mirror's Edge, Ni no Kuni, NIER, the Prince of Persia games. What else do we have in here that can be gotten on PC? No, actually, that's a lot. Like half of the games that we added today, I'm gonna try to get on PC when I get the chance. Not right now. I'll still wait for Steam sales. I'm not gonna buy them at full price. I'm not that desperate. But you know, it's fun. Okay. Did I even add a description for these? It is. I did. Okay, no idea. Let's see. So, I guess next time we'll just continue off of where we left off. We will continue looking at the pictures that I have taken. Oh, right, this is like zoomed in. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll continue adding games from here. We will eventually get to the digital games, and eventually we'll get to move on from the PlayStation 3 and move on to my other libraries of games, which are even bigger. There's gonna be so many of these Backloggery streams. Like, originally I thought we were only going to do like maybe like if we're pushing it, I thought we were going to have like 4 streams of Backloggery, but I would just type games, and I thought I was mainly just going to be typing games into a screen. But as it turns out, that is not the case. That is not the case, and that's cool. I'm okay with making this like a long-running stream series, because it's fun. Alright, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me tonight. We have 2 viewers. Well, if you end up doing this again next Thursday, apparently it's pretty easy for me to tune in at work. Thanks, wireless earbuds. So I'll be here. Yeah, we should definitely make this like a once a week thing. Well, okay, as of right now, because I haven't started another stream series, we can do this more reliably. But once I finally do start another like regular game playthrough stream series, then I'll have to schedule a little better. But that's okay. That's fine. We can maneuver around that. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. We've got 2 viewers. I mean, let me see if there's anybody like any small streamers. Like if somebody with just like a couple of viewers that would appreciate even like a small number. I got 2 new followers. Yes, but one of them was off stream. I got Jerry Draws, that was during stream. Again, appreciate it, Jerry, if you're still here, or if you're watching the archive, appreciate it. And Waff Waff the Goose, they followed a little bit before we started. So appreciate it, Goose. If you ever tune in, I would give you a wink, but I can't. Both of my eyes are linked to each other in PRPR Live, because I'm pretty sure my eyes would freak the fuck out if I didn't have a wink function. So I mean, if I tried to put a wink function, so we're just gonna leave it as that. Goose crow noise. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that was so well timed. But no, there's not really. I mean, okay, yeah, again, Echo is live, but she's got like 6 people, and like we already rated her last time, pretty sure. So like it's. I would like to rate somebody else, if possible. You know, like try to just spice it. Not because I don't. Okay, it's not that I don't want to rate Echo. It's that we already rated Echo last time, and it feels kind of like, I don't want to say rude, but I don't know. Okay, so go ahead and subtract 1 because I'm 1. I'm gonna split as soon as you're done. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're pretty much just done here. All right. Well, I guess the next time I stream probably gonna be, no idea. I forgot to talk about some things I did today. Yeah, today I uploaded a YouTube video, an introduction. And the introduction is fine, but the main thing to take away from this is that this was my first experience using DaVinci Resolve. And it's definitely a different kind of program. It's very different from, what's the name of it? From Sony Vegas, which is what I'm used to. But I can see the potential, and it rendered like really quickly. And again, considering it's a free program, whereas that like rendered in like half of the video's length, as opposed to Sony Vegas, which would render at twice the video's length, you know, that's a big improvement. And again, fair enough, I was using like a very old version of Sony Vegas, so there's that too, and I was also using an older computer, so there's also that. But point is, DaVinci Resolve. I think I can do it now. I think I got it, and I'm happy with it. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoy your stream. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your night, rest of your week. If I don't see you again for the rest of the week, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.